Hello and welcome to the Openchat Botathon. I am your host for today, ICP Jesse, and I am so incredibly excited to welcome all of you to the Openchat Botathon. We have so much to cover today, so let's jump right into it. This is the Openchat Botathon. We are here to kick off our brand new bot launching platform. A little bit about the Botathon. Let's get into a few of the details. Oh no. I have an echo again. I'm going to figure out how to do it without ruining the stream. This is the Openchat Botathon, 31 days of bot hacking awesomeness. This is going to be super fun. We are running it for all of March. You can join the Botathon anytime during March, and we have a $50,000 total prize pool for our competitors. So you can create bots in 5 categories. We have fun and entertainment, social and community, Dex and trading, utility and productivity, and AI agents. In each of those 5 categories, we're going to have a winner. That's $4,000 in chat is available for a winner in each category. In addition, we're also going to have a $10,000 best of show prize, as well as the OC Devs $5,000 favorite prize. And then we're going to have a bunch of honorable mentions at around $1,000 equivalent in chat tokens. The idea behind these prizes is we want to spread them out so as many participants as possible can win. So a little bit about the calendar of what's coming up for this first week. Right now, you are in our very first kickoff, welcome, and introduction session. We're going to do another live introduction session on Thursday at 10 a.m. GMT. We've spread out these times as much as possible to accommodate people all over the globe. Then we're going to have some bot ideation workshops. Those are going to be hosted by Joseph from Dynasty Labs. Shout out to Dynasty Labs. They're also helping us with marketing and collaborating with the ICP Hubs network. I know we've got a lot of people here from ICP Hubs. How you doing, Hubs? Hubs in the chat. So bot ideation workshops. Are you working on an idea? Are you trying to figure out, what would be a good bot? Joseph's going to be hosting these workshops. They're going to be really great. Those are on Wednesday and Thursday. Then we're going to have the Bot Builder Social Happy Hour. Of course, I'm very excited about that. That'll be at 5 p.m. GMT on Friday. Then finally, we're going to have the Meet the Innovators. These are AI agent focus sessions. These will be hosted on Twitter X, and that'll be hosted on Friday, hosted by Joseph as well. Then finally, we're also going to have our bot developer office hours. So if you are building a bot and you've got technical questions, you need help, you just really want to connect with Hamish, this is the perfect time to drop in a question that you have in our chat in the groups. So anytime you are looking for assistance, you can jump in there. The team will just be watching for questions, and they'll open up a video window if it's helpful. But otherwise, you can drop questions anytime. But this is when the core dev team is going to be available to you. So that's going to be Monday through Friday, 10 to 12 GMT and 3 to 5 GMT. And you can always leave a question anytime outside of that. I think one of the best things about this event is the technical access you get to the core team to really help you build something awesome. So the way this works, you have a question, you're like, oh no, hi, I accidentally tried to build a bot and I accidentally summoned an ancient evil ghost, please help. That is the cue for these fine folks will pop up in the chat to help you out. If you are watching this on YouTube and have not joined our Botathon, guys, what are you doing? Get in there. You can scan this QR code, go to botathon.oc.app, and join the Botathon community. We are dog fooding this entire thing top to bottom. So we're hosting everything inside of Openchat that we can, really using our own technology stack to improve it along the way. And then that brings me to teams. So when you registered, thank you to everyone who filled out the form. We asked you for some information about the teams you're going to be in. We've gone through, and based on the registration, we have put everyone into private channels in each of, based on each of your teams. These are collaboration spaces for testing and development inside of the Openchat Botathon community. If you're in a team channel, we gave all members the ability to invite other members, so you can invite other people into your private space if you need it. And if you are looking to form a team or join a team, or if I messed up and didn't create a channel for you, please jump into the Find a Team and Group Management channel, and Joseph is in there waiting to help you out. And you can always identify Joseph by his cool hats. He is a man with many hats, and he is here to help you find a team as well as lead those ideation workshops. So finally, I just want to say from all of us at Openchat, thank you so much for being a part of this event. We are so incredibly excited for you to be here. Without our community, Openchat would just be an empty, very lonely, incredibly cool tech stack. And we are really built on the community. Everything we're building is centered around the community. And you, our developers of our newly formed bot platform, are, we think, mission critical, and really, really excited to have you all here. And so with that, I think that's enough from hearing about me. Let's get to hacking, and let's bring up the Openchat dev team. Openchat dev team, are you there?
Hello.
Hello. Yes. Welcome to the stream. How's everyone doing?
Good, thank you.
Yeah. That's bad.
Now I'm going to give a teeny little peek behind the curtain. These guys have been hard at work. They are pushing code. They are fixing bugs. They are making this thing live for us right now. So I think one thing we want to say is this is a brand new bot platform, and we're really excited to have everyone in here and get your feedback. And we, as we've already demonstrated once, we're doing this live. And so please, don't mind our dust as we build out this platform here. So I think, Matt, you are going to kick us off. Is that right?
Yep, let's do it. Just currently sharing this screen. So, I mean, we've been working flat out for the last 3 or more months. And who knew it would be such a big job? I think we thought it was going to be ready by Christmas, at least the first phase. And like each week in our weekly roundup, we said, we've delivered more bot stuff without much to show for it. But hopefully by now we've actually got something really good to show for it. It's a big job. Openchat bots, what are they? So I guess if you're probably familiar with Telegram bots or Discord bots or Slack bots, so they bear lots of similarities with these. A bot is essentially a server component. This could be a canister, or it could be an off-chain server, like a Node.js server or a Rust server. One thing to bear in mind, we currently have SDKs for Rust canister bots, Rust off-chain bots, and JavaScript Node off-chain bots. And I know one community member, I think, has ported an early version of the Rust canister SDK to Motoko. We don't write Motoko ourselves, at least we haven't picked it up yet. So I might be amazingly grateful if that community member or somebody else wants to try and bring a Motoko version up to date with the Rust version. That would be fantastic. What can a bot do? Well, essentially, bots can operate in 3 modes, if you like. There are command bots, which accept a command from an Openchat user from within the Openchat interface. So you might be familiar with this. You use the slash within sort of message entry text box. You do slash and then the name of the command, and you'll get a sort of as you type the command, you'll get a filtered list of the commands which match, and the bots and the commands which match what you've typed so far. And then you can enter any arguments that are necessary for that command. Some examples. I mean, we've got some examples coming up later, but a simple one: /roll 6 could roll a 6-sided dice. /news could get you some latest news headlines. /joke could tell you a joke. There's a bunch of little demo bots we've produced. Then there are in the kind of integration mode, or sort of commonly known as webhooks. This is where the bots can accept a command from an external system using an API key. So we've got a demo coming up for mirroring a Discord channel into an Openchat channel. So when a message is typed on Discord, it gets kind of echoed to Openchat. That's an example of an integration bot. Or you could have a GitHub action trigger, say when a pull request is generated, which then sends a message into a chat, into a channel on Openchat. And then lastly, we have sort of autonomous mode, where basically bots can generate their own commands and interact with the Openchat backend autonomously. So we're going to see a demo later again. You could ask a reminder bot to remind you on a schedule, and then at that point in the future, you get sent a message in the chat. You could have a weather bot tell you when it's raining near you, when it starts to rain. So the bot could be polling some weather service or be getting notified by a weather service. Or let's say a welcome bot could be subscribing to member joined events and then send welcome messages to its users. Or an AI agent could make up its own mind when it interacts with Openchat. And of course, a single bot could offer one of these types of capability, or it could offer any combination of them. Let's just scroll down here a little bit. This is the main README file of the bot repo. First of all, if we consider the flow for a command bot, so essentially, bots can only talk to Openchat with an authorization token, and that can take the form of a JWT or an API key. Now, in the command case, it's always a JWT, and the flow is as follows. So you have your user, your end user, who perhaps enters a command / whatever. The front end, and this involves putting whatever arguments are necessary for that command. The front end then requests an auth token from the back end of Openchat, and that in that auth token will be details of the scope of this command. That is where the command was executed from. What chat you're in, essentially. What permissions the token has, or the bot has, what the actual command is, what the command parameters are. And then and the next thing it does is then send this token up to the bot itself. And the reason for doing this is that, the reason for encoding all this information in the JWT and then signing it is that, Openchat can be sure, and the bot can be sure that, nobody's sort of tampered with this in the meantime. So in the auth token to the bot server, you get a bot response. Now, this might be, this particular sequence diagram shows a particular flow where the bot server receives the command essentially with the auth token from Openchat front end and then immediately responds. Now, this is one way of doing it. So you could immediately respond with a sort of, it could do something at this point internally. For instance, there's a fractal bot demonstration which it generates a fractal. It could return a sort of temporary message to the front end, like an unconfirmed message. In the meantime, it could then send off, it's asynchronously, apparently, it could send off the message to Openchat backend itself so that everybody in the chat will see it, and that message then becomes confirmed. Or you could choose to, on receipt of the command, do the action, wait for a response, and only then respond to the front end. But typically that's not the best way of doing it. That could take some time. Now let's just have a quick look at what that looks like from a user point of view. I'm just going to go on our test, on a test environment. Now this is like the most basic Mickey Mouse bot there is. So if I type / you can see all the sort of commands that are available, including greet. It doesn't take any parameters, and it's just going to basically, it says hello, Matt. Just hello to the user. Very simple. So basically, in this case, the message came back straight away before it was then sent to the back end and then came back and got confirmed. But you kind of, because it happened fairly quickly, you didn't really notice all the interactions there. So if we have a quick look, we can actually, I think we're echoing the token just in the console, just for now. There isn't really a security issue here. This is, this token is signed, so only the it can't just sort of tamper proof. And then just have a quick look at it. So we can see, and there's a bit of, it's not quite the right token here, but we can see this specifies that it's a command, JWT, that this is the canister it needs to call to interact with Openchat. Different bots might get different canisters, and this is sort of a scalability thing because we have different, groups and communities run on different subnets, and for sort of performance, each community and group will have an associated sort of bot gateway canister. So this is the one necessary for this scope, for this chat. Here's the bot ID. The scope is, here we're saying it's a chat with this group ID. This is the sort of temporary message ID we're going to use. This is the permission that's been granted. We can't actually, this actually means it's a text message. And so on. And then, okay, and here we go, arguments are empty. Anyway, just something worth pointing out. There's metadata which goes with every command, which is the time zone and the language, and bots can use that to sort of localize. And we'll see when that comes into play a bit later. So if we now have a quick look at the API key, this is the integration case, think the sort of Discord mirror or the GitHub hook, the sort of webhook case. So in this case, the interaction is a bit simpler. A community or group owner, or in fact, a user can install a bot, generate it, we'll come to all of this later, generate an API key, give it to, copy paste it, give it to their webhook back to their GitHub, perhaps their GitHub action or their Discord registration, and then it will use this to make a call to an endpoint specified by the bot server. This can be anything. The bot can specify any endpoint it wants, as long as the external system knows what to call, passes it with the API key. It can use this API key then to take some action on the Openchat backend, typically sending a message, but there's a bunch of different types of action that you can do. We'll come to that later. And then just responding back to the webhook, which perhaps doesn't really care about it, maybe just does some logging. And if we have a quick look at an example of that, I've actually got Postman running here, which is just a way of sending HTTP requests. And so this is pre-canned. This is the ID of that Joker bot that we saw, the Greek bot that we saw earlier. This is just, I say I could have called this, it had any path. Here, this is just what the bot's expecting. And then let's just say something to the chat. And then we're going to just get you can find, we're going to cover this later as well, but you can find the bots that are installed in this group in the members list. Sort of ahead of the members are the bots that are installed. So in this case, we're going to look at the API key. Let's just copy it. I think it's probably the same one I had earlier. Paste it there, and then send this message. So instead, we probably talk about this later as well. There's kind of pros and cons for on-chain versus off-chain bots. It goes, it kind of goes without saying that canister bots are a bit slower, but then there are lots of other advantages. So if we now look on Openchat, here we go. So it's say something to the chat. So that's demonstrating the sort of integration. Now, you might have noticed that in the message I sent, there wasn't sort of a channel ID or anything. There might have been, the webhook endpoint might have, required that as well. But in this case, the API key contains the scope, and we can actually, in fact, we looked at the JWT earlier. We can have a quick look at the API key and see what's inside that. Here again, this is, it's got a slightly different name, but this is the sort of gateway for the bot ID. Same scope as before. This is a secret. This is why you shouldn't share this key. Otherwise, anybody can call your chat. And this is okay. This is essentially saying that it's got the permission to create private and public groups, and it's got permission to send text messages. Although you wouldn't know that from these numbers at the moment. But that's a quick peek inside an API key. Now, if you do, as I say, you shouldn't. Whoops, where am I? You should try not to share that key. Otherwise, anybody can send messages into your chat. But if and so it should be a sort of, don't check it into source code. It should be an environment variable or whatever. But if you do leak it, or you suspect you've leaked it, you can always generate a new key, and this will invalidate the existing one. So if I just regenerate the key, and then try sending a message again, so if this was a off-chain error, that was not the expected result. Hang on.
Different chat, maybe?
No. The wrong bot. Was I looking at the wrong? Oh, I think I had the wrong bot. So that's what it was. Oh, yeah, I think I was looking at the wrong bot. Just regenerate the key there. I think I was looking at the reminder bot. Okay, so there we can see that, yeah, I must have regenerated the key for the reminder bot, not the greet bot. So yeah, here we can see that that key no longer works. But then if I copy this new key, I can get it going again. Oh. No, I can't.
Subnet unavailable. Oh, is that being upgraded?
Huh.
Anyway, I think it's probably just in the middle of a subnet upgrade, but it doesn't matter. It will work again.
Huh. Oh, well, yeah, let's come back to that later, maybe. Okay, next mode is kind of autonomous mode. Now, so yeah, similar to sort of, you know, the integration mode. Basically, it uses it uses an API key to talk to Openchat. And now we've actually built in some sort of, now you could contrive to get an API key from that you generate in Openchat into a bot in various ways. The bot could be initialized with it, or, you know, there could be some commands which take the API key to sync it across. They're all a bit ugly. So we've built in a sort of conventional method for doing this, which is supported by the, you know, the whole framework, by the SDKs, which is that you can, if your bot specifies it, you can you can sync the API key with a bot. So if I were to press this button here, it would essentially send the API key to the bot. The bot can then, and there's sort of SDK support for this, will then just keep a map of the scope, which in this case is the group ID, to the API key. So actually, let's just have a quick look here. So to get it across, so there's the user presses that sync button. This is what this first arrow is for. This is essentially a special type of command, just like a custom command. So it's kind of the same flow here. The front end will request an auth token for that command. The back end, though, in this special case, is going to fill the argument of that, the single argument of that command, with the API key for this for the scope. So then the front end will send the auth token containing the API key to the bot, which will then respond. As I say, the bot will then store this in a map, and then this, you know, represents some time passed asynchronously. At some later point, it can decide whatever it wants to do. It can decide to take some action with that API key. And if we, I'm trying to think if I've actually, yeah. So if we look at the reminder bot for this, for an autonomous case, this is where, so I've already synced the key. Now I can do various things. I can list the current reminders that are set. So there's no reminders currently set. Now this is something worth seeing. This is a so-called ephemeral message. Only I see this message. This isn't seen in the chat. And so in fact, if I were to refresh, you'd see that, yeah, it's no longer there. So it's basically just held on the front end. And this is typically used for kind of admin style commands where you don't need the whole chat to see it. So if I remind, I'm just going to use a pre-canned. So it's a little bit, this is definitely a demo. It's a little bit ugly, this reminder board at the moment, but it's got some promise. And then if we list, we can see that reminders available. And again, these messages themselves are only visible to me. Now, let's do something at a specific time.
You need to fix that so they don't remain as
yeah,
unread.
this is a temporary bug that we've got, which is showing as unread, which is but if you don't type the arguments in the command line, you can just press enter and it will prompt you in a UI with a form for the missing arguments. So I'm going to do something. What time is it now? Let's say 16:32 p.m. Darn it. So this is definitely not being very clever. Let's do this example. Okay, so this should be, in about 30 seconds, we should see this send us a message. I'm just going to get rid of those orange boxes. And then if we list here, we can see both reminders, and I could choose to delete the first one. So we've only got one left. Let's list them now. Whoops. Still waiting for 433 to take over. Oh, the bloody demo gods. Where is that message? You did get it right. Tuesday, 4th of March, 16:33 GMT. Okay, let's pretend that worked.
Well, that's why that bot hasn't been released yet.
Yes. Oh. Okay, where was I? Okay, well, let's I think I'm going to hand over to Hamish and have a quick look at why that's not working. I think Hamish is going to look at how to get the whole thing running in localhost, so that you can run Openchat locally. You can run our example bots, and you can perhaps iterate from there. So yeah, over to you, Hamish.
Okay, I will share screen. Yeah, okay, cool. First thing you need to do, let's just minimize that. First thing you need to do is start up a clean DFX instance running locally. So I've just opened up a terminal. I've gone to my Openchat directory and I'm running DFX start clean. Got to make sure it's clean. Got to keep yourself clean, and you got to keep your DFX clean. Because if you do it without clean, then it will go wrong when it's trying to set up all the NNS canisters, because there'll be clashes with the canister IDs. So yeah, DFX start clean.
I guess it's worth saying the first thing you've done is that you've kind of behind the scenes, you've pulled down Openchat.
Okay, yeah. So I've pulled, yeah. So I'm on latest master commit, latest commit on master branch, and then you just run scripts deploy local. You can, if you want, you can specify the DFX identity, but by default it will just use the default identity, as in the identity named default. So let's run that.
Hamish, we've got a request if you could zoom your screen just a little bit.
Yes. Is that, how do I even do it in here? I know how to do it in a browser. How do I do it? Should I just do it system settings? Yeah, font. Anyone know how to do that?
Go to displays in there.
In here?
Yeah, display. Yeah. And then set to default right there, or choose the middle one. Yeah, go for the center. Yeah, right there.
That one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Chat, how's that?
So this is now just running. You see it's installing like a NNS ledger, the NNS index, the ICP index. It takes a few minutes. Maybe we should change this to install the Openchat canisters first, and then at least if you don't care about the NNS ones, you can start working. So now it's creating each of these canisters in turn. Maybe we could parallelize that as well. Once you've got it, this is a one-time thing. So you only need to set it up once, and then you can just keep reusing that same environment.
We've basically been, as I think we said that Jesse alluded to at the beginning, we've basically been programming right up to the wire, including like half an hour before this meeting. And we haven't finished documentation yet at all. And so some of these processes are documented, some of them aren't quite yet, but we're going to make sure in the next few days it's all absolutely, documentation is perfectly, you can do everything just based on that. In this case, it is. I guess this is documented. All these steps, Hamish, right?
To some degree, in README, like testing locally, yeah, we say start DFX using DFX start clean. Yeah, it's pretty much there. If anyone runs into any issues doing this, please do let us know, because we've only ever run it on our machines, and everyone else out there is going to have slightly different environments. So if it doesn't work for you, please do let us know, and we will try to unblock you as quickly as we can.
While you're waiting for that, I just worked out why my reminder bot failed.
Because you deleted the API key.
Because I deleted the API key when I deleted the wrong API key in the previous demo.
Yeah.
I deleted it, and I need to resync it.
Then, so once that is all deployed, once that deploy script is finished, you can run npm run dev within. So I've gone to the front end directory. So this is Openchat. I've gone to the front end directory, and then I can run npm run dev, and that will build the front end. So you see I've got two IDEs open. Some other people might do it all in one, but I use Rust Rover for doing the backend stuff, which is in Rust, and then I use WebStorm. These are two JetBrains IDEs. So I use WebStorm for doing the front end stuff. So I'm running npm run dev within WebStorm. Not that that really matters, but just so you understand why I have two different windows. And this will take a minute or so. Okay, all files present. So now, So yeah, once the deploy script and the front end build have completed, you can reach Openchat at localhost 5001. That will refresh because that was an old session with a now invalid key. One of these should work. So yeah, this is all running locally. I've just created a user. So I now have a local version of Openchat running. In order to test a bot, I'll just create a channel, a group. So
I guess
now,
this is like, in order to register a bot. Yeah, sorry, I'm just going to jump in the gun a bit. This is just somewhere we could imagine some specific UI place to have, to register bots, but we're just leveraging the same / command style to register a bot. Sorry, carry on.
yeah.
Even though it's got,
So
at this point, it's got nothing to do with the group.
So whenever you send any auth tokens to a bot, they verify that the token was signed by the private key for the corresponding Openchat public key. And every time you set up a local environment, you'll have a different Openchat public key. So in order to test your bot, you need to come to profile settings, advanced, then bot client config, and you just copy that Openchat public key. You won't really need the other stuff, or it's unlikely you will. So then I need to tell, this was the public key from when I was testing it half an hour ago. I now need to tell the bot the right key. So I'm just setting it in the config. Okay. Then, so I'm just going to use
display the. We should probably display the public key in as one long string, so you don't have to do what you just did then.
Maybe, yeah. Well, you can. It would work with it all on multi-lines as well. So I'm now going to run this dice bot. In fact, no, let's not do that yet. In order to register a bot, as Matt was saying, we've introduced this register bot command that's an inbuilt Openchat command. You can run it from anywhere. So you can set an avatar. I'll skip that for now. Test context on like the live Openchat, you might want to specify a test context, and that will allow you to install your bot in that context without you having to publish the bot. Or any community or group that you are the owner of, you can also install your bot. So I'll actually leave this blank just to show that.
But I mean, for the purpose of this botathon, basically,
for the botathon, everyone should do it for the botathon community,
and that will allow everybody to, people will be able to use the bots within the botathon community, but nowhere else, or any groups, communities that they themselves own.
So in order to run a bot, the bot needs an identity. So what you can do is you can just do like dfx identity new, and call it whatever you want, and then no, I want to do one. Storage plain text. So if I do my cool bot storage plain text, and then what you can do is dfx identity export my cool bot, and so then I can now put this into a PEM file. And so for this dice bot, I've just got my PEM file here, which is from an identity that I made earlier.
If this was an on-chain bot, sorry to interrupt. If this is necessary for off-chain bots only, you probably said this, right? But for on-chain bots, you don't need to do this step at all, because every canister will be verified by the protocol we'll be sending with the
Yeah, and so once you've done that, you can do DFX identity and then the identity name. In my case, the identity name is DiceBot, and then identity get principal. You might be thinking, why have I written identity and there? Here, I'm specifying which identity DFX should use, and then I'm specifying to use the identity command, get principal. So I've got the principal. So this is the principal that the bot will use when it sends to sign all of the requests to the IC. So I drop that in here as the principal bot name, dice bot, and then let's just get the bot up and running.
Essentially, the principal is used to authenticate the bot, and the JWT, the auth token or the API key, is used to authorize the bot, if you think about it in those terms.
Yeah. So I guess that's now running. And in my case, I've set it to listen on 127.0.0.1.3000. And so once you put in your bot endpoint, which, for local testing is probably going to be some local URL, you can just click this refresh button and it will send a query off to the bot to get the schema. And so when you implement a bot, you need to expose an endpoint. Let me show you. So here I've registered 2 routes. One is called execute command, which every bot needs to expose if they want to handle commands. And then I've just done the empty path. It just returns the bot definition. And you can kind of just copy this way of doing things. If you look in the examples, all of our examples are roughly doing the same thing in this regard for returning the definition. Okay, and so we can go back to here and we click register. So I've left this as empty, the test context. Let me register. And so the bot is now registered with Openchat, but it isn't installed in any groups or communities. So we need to do that next. So what you can do is, because I'm the owner of this group, I'm able to add bots. So I can click to add the bot. Anyone else wouldn't see this bot. I only see this bot because I'm the owner of it.
Well, you're the owner of the bot and of the group in this case.
Yeah.
Once the bot's been fully tested, once is ready for prime time, then you can make a proposal to publish the bot, and at that point, it's available to be installed in any group or community or for any user, as long as you're in case for groups and communities, as long as you're the group or community owner, you can install any published bot.
So when you install a bot, you have to specify which permissions you will give the bot. So you see the bot is only requesting the permission to be able to send text messages. So it can't send images, it can't send, anything else. All it can do is send text messages. If I decide I don't want to give it that permission, then you'll see that none of these commands are available. So I tick that and it means that both of these commands will be available. And then I can install it. And then I added the dice bot. So now, along with all of the inbuilt commands, there's now like coin or roll. So I can do coin 5. And you see here it says this is the number. This is an input parameter that I can specify, and it's the count of coins. So if I do coin 5, that was really quick. Oh yeah, because the bot replies to the front end and simultaneously posts it through to Openchat. So I actually see the response, essentially the speed of a normal HTTP request to a server, because it's not going through consensus at this point. So it does go through consensus later. Like if I refresh the page, that message, is not there. Why is that message not there? So if I do let's roll 2 dice, 2 die, with 6
2
sides
sides.
each. So what? Okay, well, the bugs are among us today because that's still spinning. It's very faint though. Yeah, I wonder why it's not confirmed on the back end. Well, that's a bug that we will fix immediately, and
It might just be a bug with your DOS bot as well, because I think some other example bots are
yeah, I
working
mean,
fine.
bots are working in production, so it's definitely something locally that maybe I haven't set up something right, or the IC URL is wrong. Oh, the IC URL might be wrong. I think it doesn't matter. As in, regardless, it just means you can see what the bot is doing. You send it the command, and then so when I click and press enter, the command and the arguments will be sent to our bot gateway, and they'll be signed, and then we send that JWT to the bot, and then the bot can read the JWT, process the command, and then reply to us, and also post its response to Openchat. And yeah, that is it for testing bots locally. And yes, this is not working right now, but we will fix it and push a fix today. Yeah, that is
Okay, well, let me sort of ping pong back then. So I was going to look into a bit more detail at autonomous bots, dive into the Remind bot. Hamish?
just on one person has asked if I want to create a bot just for my community, do I still need to create a proposal to register? No. If you
The
want
registration, that was a sort of, we've removed that
registering
ability.
is a command that anyone can run. The publishing is the proposal. So if you want a private bot just for yourself, you don't need a proposal.
Like a week ago, we introduced the register bot proposal. Now now the register. Yeah, as I say, the registering a bot is not a proposal. Publishing it is. So registering a bot, that allows you to install it anywhere you're the owner of, and in one specified test location, like the Botathon community. Okay, I'm what to share. I've got a script to remind me what to go through here for the next step. Okay, so kind of piggybacking on what Hamish did earlier. So I've installed, I've downloaded Openchat. I've started DFX with clean to remove any previous canisters that were installed.
I've run. Sorry, not to interrupt you. It might be worth just zooming in a little bit as well into your code editor just to increase the text size.
I think do what I did and just.
I think you can just do Command plus because it's just
maybe
it's just.
It didn't seem to work when I tried it.
Oh,
you zoomed out. Yeah.
Is that big enough, or shall I go bigger? I can't.
Maybe our viewers can tell.
That looks great right there, Matt. I can read that clearly. That looks great. Thank you on behalf of all the old people with poor eyesight.
I'm an old person, but I've got glasses on, so that helps. Okay, so yes, I've started DFX. This has sort of already happened. I've deployed Openchat locally. I've run npm run dev, which basically runs the website locally. I'm just going to drag this down as well. Oh, I'm going to need to expand this view. Sorry, Command plus. Ugh. basically, if you look in this tab here, you can see, yeah, DFX is running. And okay, yeah, so the front end isn't running at the moment. Okay, so I'm now going to run the front end. And simultaneously, I'm going to create a new canister for the reminder bot. So the reminder is a canister bot. Let's just do that here. So it's created a new canister with this ID. I'm just going to make a note of that ID. In fact, I'm going to put it here. I'm then going to build DFX build to build the WASM. Basically, this is kind of working by virtue of the fact that in my DFX JSON, I've got, yeah, the reminder bot here. So so that's built the reminder bot WASM. I'm now going to actually, the first thing I'm going to do, this is kind of an alternative to what Hamish did. Actually, we're just going to flick back to here. You can see that that's now, the website's now running locally. So just get that. Okay, I'm just going to sign up here. Sign up with a passkey. Register a new account. Like Hamish did, I'm going to create a group for testing. I'm just going to skip through all the configuration and use the default settings. Now, as Hamish said, you can see, so this is a slight pain when developing locally, is that every time, as Hamish said, every time you install from scratch, you're going to get a different, Openchat will have a different public key generated for it. And of course, in production, there's always going to be the same public key. So this is not, this is just a dev kind of wrinkle. And you can click on bot client config and see the key here. Or you can, I can actually use DFX to call, there's an endpoint called public key on the user index canister of Openchat, and I can just use that to get the public key as well. So I'm just going to do that from within the Openchat repo. And here is the public key. Now I'm going to, the reminder bot takes a single argument when you install it, which is the public key. As I said previously, this is to sort of verify that the JWTs are signed by Openchat. And then I'm going to sort of, we've built the WASM. I'm now going to install the WASM. Mode install, that's right. Okay, so I'm now going to, I remembered that canister ID earlier. So this is the endpoint for the reminder bot locally. So this is the newly generated canister. And the sort of part of the spec is that you need to return on the root, you need to return the bot definition. So let's have a quick look at that. So I just paste that into a browser. So I don't think we've really talked about this yet, have we? So each bot needs to, yeah, return the bot definition. I guess we'll look at the types a bit later. But in this case, it's just providing a description. Bot, it then lists the commands that the bot offers. So it's got the list command, the remind command. Oh yeah, okay. So I'm going to demonstrate iterating as well. So there's no delete command at the moment. We'll add that later. And I've given it this is a part of the specification. I've said that only basically it's called default role because the bot's suggesting to the to Openchat what the default role should be for this command. Now, in the future, what we're going to do is allow owners of groups and communities to set the role that they, the roles within their community or group that they want to be able to call each command. But for now, that isn't available, and so it's just going to use the default. So basically, this means that only admins or higher admins or owners of whatever group or community it's installed in can use the list command and the remind command. We've also got that role. It doesn't have any arguments. The list command. The remind command's got a couple of parameters. It's got what the message, the contents of the message you want, and this can be a multi. In fact, this is coming very soon. You'll be able to have multi-line inputs to make it sort of easier, and you'll be able to use markdown, block level markdown, and this is a sort of natural language text about when you want this to happen, when you want the reminder to happen, and then this final. We're going to come on to sort of the shortcomings of this bot later and what we can do to improve it. But for now, you've got to specify essentially this natural language reminder about when you want it to happen, say at 4 p.m. on weekdays, or next month, every other month, whatever. It turns that into a cron job. Which by its very nature is a repeating thing. It'll happen on a schedule. So even if you were to say to the remind bot at 4 p.m. today, that it will interpret that as being at 4 p.m. every day, which is why this is a bit yucky. But I've got this third parameter, which is just to whether this repeats yes or no, whether it's a one-time reminder or not. As I say, we're going to come into why that how that can be made better. So none of these commands actually require any permissions because none of them are actually calling Openchat at all. These are essentially kind of admin commands to sort of configure your reminders. So as you see, there's the permissions here are all empty. But we do have, when you get a message back, that's a so-called ephemeral message. So that never got sent to Openchat. That was only being shown to the caller. So the only permission it's got, this bot, is in the autonomous config. It's got the permission to send text messages, and this will be give it permission to send on at the given time to send a text message with a reminder. And this parameter is just saying it supports. This is like the autonomous bot behavior. If this is true, then Openchat will give you that option to sync the API key with the bot, and it knows that the bot is expecting it. So that's kind of what that looks like. Well, I guess we'll look at the more general case in a bit.
Matt, we had a question in the chat. Is it possible to build a bot only for users and not for community channels or groups?
Currently, no, but
so you can. Right, so I haven't actually shown this yet, but you can. We need to release our user canisters, which is going to be done any day now. Because there are so many of them, it's we don't release them every other day or whatever. We tend to release them once a fortnight or something. But once they're out, you'll be able to install bots not only in communities and groups but also in users. You can kind of get a flavor of it. It's not quite working here, but if you search for the llama bot, you can see but this will allow you to I think it's got the wrong name here. It shouldn't be saying group. This is into the direct chat, but you can basically see that how you would then have a direct chat with the bot. And yes, we do intend to add a part to the bot definition. The ability to specify what scopes you can deploy in, whether it's it'd be a set of community group
Direct,
or
yeah.
direct chat. And you can specify, any or more, all of them or whatever. Right. So what have we done so far? We've looked at the definition. That was it. So now I'm just going to register the bot. We saw Hamish do that earlier with the dice bot. I was effectively, just seeing that the bot was up and running. It's echoing its definition. So that's telling me that it's up and running. So go back to the test environment, and I'm just going to call register in here. Oh God, I've just found this before the demo, this awful image, which isn't centered. So I'm just going to center it a little bit.
Yeah, you've got to get it pixel perfect for this demo.
As Hamish said, I'm not going to bother giving it test context because this is just my local environment. I can, I'm going to be the owner of the groups and communities that I create. The principle of the bot is the basic for a bot. In the off-chain case, it was the principle associated with that. Yeah, the DFX identity principle. In the case of the bot, it's the canister ID of the bot, and we saw that earlier. We created the canister earlier. We got that. So let's put the canister ID. I'm the owner. In fact, we shouldn't really be able to change this, should we? I think this is a hangover from when the registering was a proposal. I think it's just the caller should be the. Need to remove that. Bot name reminder, and the endpoint is the endpoint we've seen already. Now I can load it. Basically, the front end's just loaded the endpoint, and you can see the list of commands available, list and remind, the commands that are available currently. If we click on, this is basically just the sort of UI version of the definition that we saw, the JSON for earlier. It just gives you the description of the command, the name of the command description, any placeholder message there isn't one specified here, and what permissions it requires. And as you see, it doesn't require any permissions because it's not actually going to call list command, isn't going to call into Openchat at all. So that's just sort of confirming that. Likewise for the remind command, it doesn't have any permissions required. It lists the parameters actually. Oh, okay. So yeah, you can go into details of the parameters. It's a type string, the name of the parameter, description of the parameter, placeholder text for the parameter, a minimum maximum length. And there are various types of parameter that we support: string, integer, floating point, the user ID, Boolean, coming very soon, date time.
Just
and they'll actually like a date time picker, like a date picker and a time picker, which make it a bit easier for for users to enter those. Make it easier in the reminder bot case as well. And then this is the when parameter, which is just a string. We're saying, the same set of fields again. And then this is the Boolean, whether it repeats or not. Then if you go to the
just close.
Yeah, that's all
just close
commands.
the top. Yeah.
And then autonomous permissions. So as we've seen by looking at the JSON, it's got the permission to send text messages autonomously, but nothing else. It doesn't have any chat permissions or any community permissions. This is the sort of sync API key that we've seen already. So now, anyway, that's all looks fine. So I'm just going to register it. And oh yeah, no, I don't see that anything in the chat, do I? Because it's nothing to do with that chat. So now, so now as the owner of this group and the owner of the bot, because it's not published yet, I can see when I go to the members of the group, I can see I can choose to add, add bots. And in here, in Openchat in a month or so, but by the end of the Botathon, you'll go into a community, you'll be a community owner, go into the members list, go add bots, and you'll have a long list of 40 bots or whatever, and you'll have to search for them here to find the one you want to install. In this case, there's just the one. And here, as I said, I don't have to give it any permissions. I don't have to grant it any permissions at all. It's not asked for anything. These are specifically the command permissions. I'm going to install it. And now it says, would I like to enable autonomous access to this group? So in order to do that, I need to generate an API key, which, and here it says the bot seeks the following autonomous permissions. So I'm going to allow it to send text messages, generate the API key. This is your API key. This key provides programmatic access to Openchat and should be considered secret. Do not share this key or commit to source control. If at any time this key is leaked, you can simply generate a new one to revoke access. So you can copy this key. But in this case, we're just going to use the sync functionality. So I'm going to click on this, send the key to the bot. Okay, which is successful. There's now a map. There's a map inside the bot, which is mapping this test group to that API key. Now I'm gonna. It's actually going to work this time, I trust. Do something. What are we?
5:13.
13 p.m. Not repeat. Oh, you've got to be joking. What's wrong with that? Oh, I didn't put a colon in my 5:13.
It sends it to the LLM. How is it parsing the input?
No, I'm going to come to that. No, it's not doing that at the moment. I missed out the colon. You can see here. Look.
Okay, yeah. Well, send it quickly. Send it quickly.
Oh, I'll just have to do it again. Doesn't matter. Whoops.
Okay.
You're annoyed because we're going to have to wait another minute now, aren't we? Oh, well. 5:13 p.m.
No, too late.
Oh, well, we'll come and look at that later. These are ephemeral messages, as we've talked about before. So if I refresh this, no one else sees these messages. If I refresh it, they disappear. Just go list. Okay, we're going to come back and look at that message, that reminder coming through in a second. Okay, so I was just going to show how to iterate and sort of evolve the bot. So I commented out the delete method earlier, so I'm just going to go back into it.
Let's check for that message coming in.
Oh no, it's not 5:14 yet.
Yeah, it is now.
Ah,
there we go.
It does work after all. And this now should be got, because this was a one-time message, it won't be there anymore. Yeah, so there's no reminder set. If this was a repeating message, then you'd still see it in there, and you'd have to delete it if you didn't want it anymore. Okay, so let's go into the code. I guess we can look into this in a little bit more detail later, but this is in the Openchat bots repo, in the Rust folder, RS folder, in the canister folder, because it's a canister bot. In there, we've got examples and the SDK for building the Rust canister SDK. If we go into examples, we've got that greet bot, which is kind of a hybrid bot that does all sorts of things to demonstrate various capabilities. And then this reminder bot. We might as well look into some of this now. Some of this is kind of boilerplate code. There's less boilerplate code for the kind of off-chain bots, but there's a bit of boilerplate code for the canister bots. There's this lifecycle folder. You can essentially copy, just use what we've got here. If you're familiar with canister lifecycle, basically there's you store you've got orthogonal persistence. You store your state in the canister, and then when you upgrade, and then it's basically by virtue of running on 13 machines simultaneously, it's kind of like a data. You don't really need a database as well, but then in order to persist the state over upgrades, you've got to it's kind of one of two ways of doing it. You store your state on the heap, and you use post upgrade and pre upgrade to serialize and deserialize the state, or you can use stable memory, which persists through upgrades. I'm not going to go into stable memory right now, but essentially this is what this lifecycle folder is doing. It's kind of setting that up. In our state for the reminder bot, this is the public key that we gave it earlier. If we look in the init file here, this is the argument that we pass it. Remember, we passed it the public. That was the only argument we passed. It was a public key, and then here we're initializing the state with that public key. That's there, and then this is the API key registry. I was talking about this a couple of times. This is a struct provided by the SDK, which is being used by this bot to hold a map of scope to API key record. The API key record is the string itself and the permissions, which you sometimes need to look at. And then the scope is whether we haven't really talked about community scope, but you can do things at community scope, like you can create channels or delete channels, or and then chats are either direct chats, group chats, or channels. So then this is as a bespoke for the reminder bot. It's basically got stores the reminders in the structure here. I won't go into that right now. And then if we look in the HTTP request, these are sort of, again, some boilerplate code. This is the standard sort of way of receiving HTTP. So canisters you can send queries and update calls to canisters, but you can also, as you know, interact with canisters using HTTP. So this means, as far as Openchat's concerned, it doesn't care whether it's an off-chain bot or a canister bot. It's just using HTTP in exactly the same way. And this is just the entry point for a query and the update. And then that's using this router component to handle it. If we have a quick look at that. So I've got a route this is, if you want to handle commands, you've got to provide, this is a convention, you've got to have an execute command endpoint. And this, I've just showing some metrics as well. So if we have a quick look, in fact, I won't have any at the moment. That's just, we can see something in here at least. If we go to this bot endpoint and go to the metrics, metrics, you can see I've got, the bot knows about one API key. It's got no reminders and no chats with reminders. This is like the global total number of reminders it's got globally, and this is per the number of chats with any reminders, but I've just deleted them all, so there's none there. And then this is basically saying, so basically this route is being handled by this method here. This, this path metrics is being handled by this method, and it's falling back to getting the definition. So that basically means any other path apart from these two, anything else will give me the definition. So if I just put like anything I want, that will give me the definition. Or, according to the spec, it just needs to be on the route, which which is there. Now, if we have a look at the commands within the root, you've got a commands file, and you can see here, in fact, that I've kind of statically holding on to oops, I've initialized in a lazy lock, so it's only done once, like a singleton pattern, the list of commands that are supported by this canister. And we've got the remind command, the list command, and as you can see, I've commented out the delete command. So we're going to put that in. We can have a look into some more details later, but for now, I just want to show iterating on it. So we're now going to yeah, I'll just do a cargo build first of all, just to make sure that's fine. So that's built fine. I'm now just going to build the WASM. And I'm going to upgrade the bot, upgrade the upgrade the WASM, the bot with this WASM, the bot canister with this new WASM. So rather than install, it's going to be upgrade here with the DFX command. So that's now upgraded. If we have a quick look at, so this is prior to upgrading, you can see it's got, did I collapse there? Yeah, it's got list and remind. So I refresh now, you see it's got list, remind, and now delete as well. Now, at the moment, Openchat doesn't know about this new command. So there's you can, as the bot owner, you can tell Openchat that, and there's an update bot command for that. So I select the bot. I basically see here all the bots that I own. In this case, it's just an assessment environment. I'll just own the reminder bot. I haven't changed the principal, so I leave that. I'm going to leave the avatar the same. I'm just going to refresh here. And now you can see that this delete command is also available. Now I'm going to update, and this will sync the latest bot definition with Openchat. Give it a few seconds to work its way around the system. If I view the bot details, it hasn't worked its way around yet. Okay, so we can see the delete command is now there. Let's just see if it's made its way.
It's probably just not reactive in.
I know it has. It was just a bit slow. So
yeah.
hadn't got. So yeah, you can see there's the new command that's been added. It's now available. Well, I don't have anything to delete, so. If I now list it, I can see it's got ID 1, and I can use that to delete it. Okay. So we've looked at the bot definition, installed the bot, delete method, update, delete the bot. Oh yeah, so you could, as the owner of the community or group or whatever, you can decide to uninstall, to remove the bot. So that's available here, remove bot. I can also, as a bot owner, decide to remove the bot. I no longer want to offer it to the platform, to Openchat, and it will remove it from all of the scopes that it's installed in. So there's a delete. Ooh.
Remove bot.
Is it called remove bot? A remove bot. So I select the bot I want to remove.
And that's it.
Bot reminder removed by Openchat bot. Oh, I see. That is telling me every chat that this was installed in, you'd see that message. In this case,
you probably want to have an "Are you sure?"
Yeah, that was a little bit.
And also, now that it's removed the user, we no longer have the username. That's why it's saying we'll fix that. We should keep a record of the username.
Anyway, you can see the bot's disappeared from the members list. There's no longer a bot to add. It's completely removed from the system. So yeah, this just think about I think this is quite interesting to talk about how to improve this reminder bot. So it's trying to understand natural language, say, every Monday at 9 a.m. and it's using this. Did I close it? Oh yeah, it's using this Rust crate called English to Cron, basically, and it can understand a certain variety of English language instructions to which get turned into cron jobs. And here are some examples in their test. Run every minute from January to March. That'd be quite annoying. And then it turns that into a cron schedule using the Rust crate, cron crate. So this basically given a cron schedule, which is what this is here, this sort of string here. It can create your schedule, and this then, the reminder struct that I showed you earlier in the code, we didn't really dive into it, but this basically schedules timers, canister timers to run at the appropriate time. Now, one thing is that was a bit annoying is that it doesn't know the difference between a repeating expression, something that you want to schedule multiple times, and saying you only want to happen once. Even if you just say, 9:45 today, it will interpret that because it's a cron as being every day. But this would be quite nice. Hamish built the sort of that llama bot, which basically is just a kind of wrapper around an LLM that's provided for free by Dfinity. I don't know how long it'll be for free. Probably by it's going to take a bit of a hammering being installed in Openchat. But these are some things you can do with it. If where was I using this? Yeah, so if I put this prompt, give this prompt to llama. So translate every Monday at 9 a.m. into a cron expression. Just output the cron expression itself without any preamble or explanation. If I run that, taking a bit of time, then it's given me the cron schedule for it. And that actually can do a much better job than that crate I was using, that Rust English to cron library I was using. And in fact, it would also be able to distinguish whether it's whether it's a repeating reminder or a one-off reminder. Let's just have a look at.
I think we don't need to go this deep into cron jobs.
No, I was just because it might. Okay, I'm only going to be like 30 more seconds. Let's just have a quick look at this. This is translate 9:45 a.m. tomorrow into an ISO 8601 string. Oh, sorry, that's supposed to be a prompt, not just typing it into the. Whoops. Oh, why is it doing that?
You didn't click on prompt.
I clicked on the wrong thing. Okay. So then this gives me, tells you exactly what time it is. Anyway, point being, you could use the reminder bot could be using the sort of the LLM internally to understand the natural language input, which would be quite a cool way to enhance it later. But kind of give you an idea of how you could integrate like AI components into your bots. Anyway, that's all from me now. I guess, Hamish, what do you think? Perhaps it's worth saying what you can do actually in the primary way bots will interact with Openchat is by sending messages. It's a chat platform, and that's the main thing. We currently support sending messages of these types: text, image, video, audio file, poll, Giphy, custom. And you can create channels and you can delete channels. That's currently all the actions that are supported, but there's a bunch more. Then
like sending crypto. Oh, you've got it, yeah.
Yeah, we started work on this. This will be available soonish. You'll be able to send. This is quite important for the botathon. I think you'll be able to send. The bot can hold accounts of registry of token ledgers, and it could send crypto to users. It could send prize messages. It could offer P2P swaps, and then there's various things you could add that we can add. That we will probably add, like the ability for bots to be able to add, remove reactions, update chat details, invite members, remove members, delete messages, pin messages, and so on. And at the community level, you can invite or remove members. And then basically, if you want to build a bot which requires any of these actions or any others that we've not mentioned, please let us know and we can prioritize their availability. But basically, there's so much, there's a fair bit we still need to do, and it'd be useful to know what you want us to build next. And then we haven't really touched on this much yet. Last thing is you can also read and subscribe to Openchat events. So this is what basically you can read the current chat details. So that's like the name, description, the rules, the access gates, blah, blah, blah of the chat. A bot you should be able to do the same with the community details. That's coming soon. A bot can read message events. So these are messages themselves, but also things like reactions. And there's a whole list of types of event which are categorized into message events. Member events, these are sort of member joined, member left, members invited, member blocked, or whatever. And so this allows you to read, the bots to read historical messages and historical events if necessary. And then likewise coming soon for community member events. And then you can read chat details events. So you can read, wherever the description's been changed or whatever. And then the final part is you can subscribe to messages. Now, none of this is yet ready, but we're working on it right now. So you'll be able to subscribe to message events, member events, chat details events, community details events, and community member events. So let's think for an example. A moderation bot might wish to subscribe to messages in a chat to flag them as being unsuitable. A welcome bot might subscribe to member joined events to send new members a welcome message. You could imagine, like if say you wanted to feed chat messages into a LLM, you could do that. You could read the existing messages, and then you could use that to ask questions about the chat. Who said what? The LLM could summarize the chat. Quite interesting. Anyway, all sorts of use cases there. All right, that's enough. Oh my God, it's been an hour and a half already. I'm going to stop talking. Anybody else?
Well, yeah, Ivan, should we go through the Discord bot?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ivan, you've sat on camera for 90 minutes. We got to let you demo your bot now. Thank you so much for your patience. Shout out to everyone in the chat that's still with us at 90 minutes. Ivan, you ready to do a Discord bot here?
Yeah, let's go. Let's do it. For all the people who can still follow. Another guy yapping a little bit about some bots. I'm going to talk about how we bridge the gap between Discord and Openchat. I suppose the main question is, why would you do this? And the obvious answer would be that there's quite a big crypto community currently on Discord that we want to also participate in all the events that are happening on Openchat and vice versa. We want to bring those communities closer together, and therefore we thought, well, why not just build a bot that can bridge between the two apps? I'm going to show quickly how it works, how to set it up. I'm not going to show how to register a bot. I think Hamish and Matt have done that bit quite well already. So I'm going to start from a channel where I already have a Discord bot available. And well, one thing you can do is you can ask the Discord bot its status. So if I do this, it'll tell me that this particular Openchat channel is not actually linked to any Discord channels. And if I go over to my Discord server, and I can do the same thing on this side, because the Discord bot is not just a bot on Openchat, but it's also a bot on the Discord side. It will tell me, okay, well, you haven't actually connected this channel to any Openchat channels, and you can use this particular command to set a token which will make the connection. So how do we get this token? I think it might have been mentioned already, but we can go into the members panel, and there we'll have the Discord bot as one of our members. And if we've generated it, we'll have the API key available to us, and we can just copy that. And then we go over to the Discord side, and we basically just type in the command provide the token. Let's see, token, right? So this would tell us, well, Openchat API token is set, and if we do the status right now, we will get the information saying that, okay, well, the token is set. And if we do the same thing on this side, if the demo gods are a favorite to me today, well, oh, wow, well, the Discord bot will be able to recognize there is a link already with another existing Discord channel, and we can basically start relaying messages between. Now, this may take a second, but as you can see, here we get a Discord message posted in our Openchat channel. For now, this connection is actually one way only from Discord to Openchat, but with the advent of events in the Openchat bots SDK, we should also be able to go the other way as well, and hopefully that's going to happen fairly soon. I think let's go on a limb here. Let me see if I can actually maybe even share an image here. Will the drag and drop work? No. I'm just going to upload the file. Just going to do this off screen quickly. There we go. All right. So what happens if we send it an image message? All right. So after a few seconds, hopefully we'll get the message here as well. Or maybe not. As we've seen already, the demos are a bit worky, a bit not so. Well, let's just take it for what it is. In any case, there would have been a message here with a link to the image that you can then open up in your browser. Let's try something else though. Let's try a video. I think that might have more. Oh. You just see what I did there? There we go. Video not available. Watch on YouTube. Okay, I was hoping that the preview would actually show beginners,
Yeah,
but
that's weird.
oh well.
It should
In
work.
any case, that actually came through. Yeah, it should. Yeah, right. I'm also a little bit surprised that the image is working. It was working just a minute ago when I was trying it, but well, it's been a day. Okay, so I guess you've seen how to install a bot and then within an Openchat community channel. When it comes to the Discord side of this bot, there is a link that could be used, which we haven't shared yet, but we will, I hope, very soon. That you could then you could put in your address bar in your browser, and then you would get this kind of interface where you could add the Openchat bot to your server, which would allow you to relay messages from your Discord server over to the Openchat. And let's jump into the code just quickly. I'm gonna share a little bit how it works. Of course, you can find it within our SDK repo. It's going to be within the Rust code off-chain examples Discord. And you have a README file which tries to describe a little bit about the process of developing or working with this bot as a developer and as a user. And this is the bit that I said that we're going to actually add yet. If we go into the code itself, let's start with the main. I think that's probably the best place to start with any code. So how does this bot actually work? Well, it depends on a configuration. It loads the configuration first, make sure that it's valid, initializes a tracing log tracing subscriber, initializes a state for the bot. So this state is actually shared between different parts of the code. Since this is at the same time both a Discord bot and also an Openchat bot, there is some overlap in between, and the data is basically preserved through this shared state that can be modified by both sides of the bot. It's also worth noting that they do use a channel to communicate. So basically, any events that happen on the Discord side are pushed through the channel, and we have an Openchat bot listening on the other side, processing those events. This you can consider this to be a first in first out queue, and it will serve as a separation of concerns. So basically, we can get a clean separation between our Discord side and our Openchat side. Both bots are actually kind of represented as clients, or whatever this implementation defines as a Discord or an Openchat client, and both are running their separate threads, which does mean that they do require a construct-like channel for them to communicate effectively. There was an opportunity to integrate all of that together into a single kind of logical code block, but I suppose, while developing this, I kind of thought, well, channels would make it a bit better. Okay, so let's just double check quickly. The more interesting bit, I suppose, in this case, that would be the Discord side. So for the Discord side, we have a Poise framework, which is serving as a handler for the Discord integration, and it's fairly simple definition where you can define like what exactly do you want for that bot to do for you. What exactly are you looking for in the form of intents? For example, here you can also see that message content has to be explicitly defined, that this is something you're interested in. And then defining the capabilities of the bots, for example, the commands that the bot can process, and also how to handle events. There are some other bits. So, for example, you can set post and pre-command handlers as well, to if you need to do something that's going to be common for every command pre or after it's being called. But in this case, we're only just using it to for a bit of tracing, just to make sure that we can follow up what's been going on with the bot. And I suppose the interesting bit here is also that how this is set up. For every all the commands are going to be registered every time the bot starts, meaning that you don't have to do anything very special if you change anything within the bot, and Discord will actually detect this on its own. And if you add new commands here, like on the next restart, they should be available within the Discord UI. And yeah, here I suppose we just start the bot, and it knows how to handle events for us. On the Openchat side, we actually have two bits, which are, I suppose, interesting for us. The first one is how do we handle commands, and the second one is how do we handle events from the Discord side. And for that, we have for handling commands, we have the command handle registry, which where we can give our command that the bot should handle from the OC side, and this is where how we tell okay, well, this is what the bot can do for us. And of course we need to start the so how this is actually served. Yeah, I think maybe you've seen this from the other bots. So basically, your command is going to be sent to this endpoint that we are running, in this case, Axum server, which knows how to handle our bots and how to serve our bot definition as well. Okay, let's see if there's anything else that's particularly interesting here. So this is just to handle command execution and the bot definition, really. All right. Okay, there is a few more bits here which are kind of just separated into their own domains. For example, like within Discord commands file, you will actually see how particular commands are being handled, like also how to access state and how to send, for example, ephemeral messages. Those are the same type of messages we have on the Openchat side, where it's only visible to you. And we have the event handler here, where we actually, for example, where we actually get the message from the Discord, and then pass it on to the proxy message, which will then proxy the message over to the Openchat. And then on the Openchat side, we have here a while loop, which will accept those messages within our channel and then relay them over to the Openchat. It's a bit of a code there. I don't want to go too deeply into that, but it's all there within our repository, and you can always look into it. From other less important bits, maybe there is configuration which could be of any interest. So this is what the bot knows about the world. This is what gets loaded. This is where you tell it how to authenticate with Discord, or where is the IC intercomputer, like the public key for Openchat, and various other bits. Maybe let's say, not really relevant, but let's say the interesting bit here is that the bot actually does preserve its state, meaning that if you restart the bot, it will try and load the previous state. The state is actually serialized and stored in a file on the disk. Maybe not the best solution, like there are many other ones you could probably investigate, but it's very practical, and it can be encrypted. So I suppose if you're encrypting it, even if your file does leak somewhere somehow, rest assured, if somebody doesn't have the key or a quantum computer, your data will probably stay safe. Okay, I think one bit that could be done better on the Discord bot is definitely a bit more testing. I don't think we've provided many examples on how to properly test bots. There is a bit of unit testing within this repository, though I think integration testing would be great to add, and I'll definitely look into that. And I do hope that anyone still watching this, I do hope that this inspires you to do something of your own. And like if you this is open source, so it's available to you. Go make it your own. do with it whatever you feel like you could do, and yeah, make it better. I hope by the end of the Botathon we do see some inspiration taken from this, and some new very awesome bots being developed. Yeah, that's it from me.
Cool. Any closing remarks from anybody, Hamish? All good? I think we've exhausted ourselves talking for an hour and 30 minutes and our audience.
Well, I just want to say
Yeah.
thank you guys so much. I know you have been coding around the clock, and I appreciate you taking a break from posting PRs to come and share all of your work. I know you hate to see any bugs pop up in the stream, but I just want to say I love the culture of honesty at Openchat, that everything that we demoed is exactly as it is right now, and that what you're going to get is real tech support. And so I'm so excited for this to be set loose in the community. I can't wait to see what people come up with. I think the bots are going to be incredibly exciting. We have so much good stuff coming up this week. We have the ideation sessions. We have the Twitter spaces. We have more coming next week. We're going to start doing some deep dives into working with LLMs with Anakai. I'm incredibly excited. All right, team. Any last notes before we jump off this stream here? All right, then in that case, wave goodbye. DJ Julian, play us out.
Bye.